Last time, Irwin Allen introduced us to Admiral Mike Matthews, Woody Patterson, Leah Holmes, and Agila the Amphibian, among others. Brett Matthews is the Admiral's brother, and he's not as nice a person as his brother is. He's planning to steal a bunch of gold from the place, as well as an explosive energy source called H-128. That stuff all came here from Fort Knox because earthquakes are becoming a problem in Kentucky.
This is the vault. This wall in section 12, the south wall, is where we welded the last shipment of titanium plates.
The plates that were sabotaged from the factory.
Right. They can now be cut through with an ordinary laser.
Titanium plates make up the bulk of the city's outer shell. Brett ordered a bunch that are deliberately defective, and he staged an emergency so he could slip them past the security checks.
You'll be able to bring your cargo submarine around the south corner of the vault under Triton control, move up to the wall, and lock onto it. Because of those plates, you'll be able to cut through it like butter. Then we can load all of the gold and H-128 we can carry right into the sub.
Well, what about the automatic defenses? The electronic barrier, the Vulcan defense ring?
All handled by Triton control.
So?
When the pressure dome of Pacifica's largest apartment complex is smashed, the security guards from Triton control will take off to check the emergency. That means they'll leave a skeleton crew at Triton. I can take care of them.
You heard correctly. He intends to put dozens of innocent people and families in peril to cover his tracks. He says it's foolproof. He's been planning for over a year. They always talk like that, and there's always a mistake they made. I guess it's supposed to be a better mistake if you took longer to make it. That's supposed to be the H-128, a radioactive substance that contains enough energy to power the world for centuries. Best I can tell, so far, except for putting tons of gold around it, nobody's figured out how to control and use that energy. They say it's the most powerful energy source in the world, and it's been sitting in Fort Knox doing nothing for anybody for however long. I wonder what's the point of even creating it, much less keeping enough around to vaporize half the continent. Although in 1971, somebody could have suggested that they take a pea-sized chunk and drop it on Hanoi. Obviously, they got overruled since Hanoi is still there.
Mike, I need you in Washington at once.
Well, Mr. President, we're right in the middle of transferring the H-128. I can't leave while we're doing that.
I want you for a meeting with the National Security Council and Dr. Tully of the Hawaii Deep Space Tracking Station. It is now 11:49. The meeting is at 1300 sharp.
1300. I'll be there, sir.
As we saw last time, Admiral Nelson is now the president. He's dragging Matthews away from this for a meeting that could just as easily be conducted over that screen they're using. But when you're an admiral and the president says come here, you come here.
Leah, darling, why don't you stop torturing yourself? And him. No, Bill was my son. I have no reason to defend any person responsible for his death. I don't believe Mike was responsible.
He gave the order, didn't he?
Yes, that's what admirals do. It's literally his job description. He sent his friend Bill Holmes out in the vehicle to do something. There was an accident and Bill died. She's blamed Matthews for it ever since. Her father-in-law doesn't believe it. He's gathered every scrap of material relating to the event, and he's going to get the real answers.
Up to now, Mr. President, we haven't been able to find a reason for the shifting in the Earth's crust. However, our instruments at the Hawaiian Deep Space Tracking Station might have just come up with the answer.
But do explain that to the Admiral.
For some weeks, we've been tracking a small planetoid, roughly spherical 10 miles across. And when discovered, it was just inside the orbit of Pluto, traveling at unbelievable speed.
Okay, so is it a spaceship then?
The Air Force computers at Vandenberg have verified the speed.
A speed that can only be explained by incredible weight.
Dr. Tully, you're saying that this planetoid is heavy enough to cause these reactions on our planet?
Yes, Mr. President. It's approximately 3 million times heavier than an equal amount of Earth.
It's composed entirely of rotundium, the most corpulent element in the known universe. I think the solution to this is for this guy and Woody to go back in time and change that thing's trajectory. That'll require both of them to head for a big hole in the Arizona desert. He shows them some stock disaster footage to drive home the point.
Off the Texas coast, our Earth core drill has been destroyed.
Finally, an hour later, we get to find out what that thing was. Mighty nice of you, Irwin.
Admiral, I understand the seriousness of this, but just how is Pacifica involved?
That's why we're here. The planetoid is now on a collision course. It's going to hit the Earth within 7 hours.
7 hours? Casualties can mount into the millions.
The armed forces have been mobilized to aid in the emergency, Admiral.
The Secretary of State has notified the United Nations.
We've been improvising plans for the evacuation of all coastal cities. The only way that we can minimize the losses is to plot the impact area precisely, move everybody out from under that thing.
Eventually, someone will get around to telling him that it's going to land right on top of Pacifica. Again, they dragged him all the way here for this. They couldn't tell him remotely, so he's there and ready to begin the evacuation because... Okay, I was mistaken. It's not made of rotundium, it's made of burniupium. Sometimes it's hard to tell them apart from a distance.
Oh, that's just great. We've been going round the clock, busting our guts to build that vault and fill it. Now you tell us that the whole thing is going to be destroyed.
Not the vault. I designed it myself. It'll withstand anything short of a direct hit.
That's right. The city will be destroyed, but the gold and H-128 will still be safe.
Well, that's a relief. People are expendable, but gold? And the gold's in the vault, and the vault will go on and on. The Admiral hands out assignments to get a full evacuation going. Now it's time to tell the folks what's going on. Oh, joy.
May I have your attention, please? Admiral Matthews. We're in an emergency situation. A planetoid will impact the Pacific Ocean near this area in exactly 4 hours and 21 minutes. We are in no immediate danger, but we are instituting evacuation Plan B. This is not a drill. Transportation to a safe inland area will be provided for all. I repeat, there is no reason for alarm, but this is an emergency situation. Full security and order will be maintained. The following schedule applies to all personnel in Independence. The first to leave, personnel in Category 1. Departure, 29 minutes from now.
They have a complete hospital in the city, and there are several people currently in it. They'll be part of Category 1, at least I assume so. Although, he said this is under a military protocol. As we know, there's a right way, a wrong way, and a military way. So who knows? Things are going as smoothly as they can, but Leo wants to show something to the Admiral.
I don't know what this is, but Professor Holmes said we should run these video object tapes right now.
Historical tapes now?
He said it was absolutely vital that we see them together.
I'll bet we can guess what they're about, yes?
First, I would like you to see a section of the tape of Commander Patterson's accident. Video recorded under routine safety procedures. Commander Patterson's aquafoil was trapped because of an apparent ionic misfire from the Aquadose's propellant tube.
We were at the accident. What's so vital about seeing it again?
Now you're seeing a similar routine tape of a previous accident.
This is the one where Bill Holmes was killed. We see Admiral Matthews given the order to take an aquafoil and go see about rescuing someone who's trapped, much like Woody was.
Up to now, the circumstantial evidence against Admiral Matthews seems overwhelming. But what no one realized, and what I have just discovered with a gamma-filtered extreme magnification, is what you are about to see. Without such magnification, it was impossible to see that this driver also fired a burst from his propulsion tube, causing Bill's death. Obviously no accident. Obviously deliberate sabotage.
In case she missed it, someone explained to Leah that this means that dozer driver murdered Bill and tried to murder Woody.
Admiral Matthews is innocent.
Who was the driver of the aquadozer that killed Bill? John Quinn.
This emergency isn't going to cancel the plan. I'm simply going to change it.
With this planetoid going to hit, everything's changed. Golden H-128 won't do me any good if I'm dead.
John Quinn isn't happy about any of this. He's ready to cancel the plan and go with the evacuees. But Brett is one of those dominant personalities who just barrels over your thoughts with a multitude of words and verbal attacks. He's the puniest kind of man because even he doesn't believe he's the great thinker he claims to be. If he was, he'd be in a better job making enough money that he didn't have to steal. Self-delusion doesn't even pay minimum wage.
I've just come from Triton. We're looking everywhere for Quinn. They've tied him into the accidents.
I gotta get out of here. Stand still. I'm surrounded by a bunch of panicking idiots. Now let me fill you in. We're going to load that sub and take it to the bottom of the deep trench.
You mean we're going to stay in there when the planetoid hits?
The deep trench is 4,000 feet of solid rock. It's much more safe than the vault. We will be able to ride out the impact.
Barton isn't buying it. He leaves. Quinn is going too.
Quinn. Sorry. I need you. You're coming with me, but don't worry. You and I and the men of Lunderson's submarine are going to be survivors. Very rich survivors.
Quinn needs to call that bluff. He and Brett should both know if Brett shoots Quinn, he doesn't have his help. If Quinn leaves, Brett doesn't have his help. Either way, he gets to do without. Quinn won't think of that. All he can see is a gun barrel that looks like it's the size of a bazooka pointed at his head. I guess I can't blame him. Leah takes a moment to apologize to Mike and establish that they're friends again. She also firmly establishes that she's not leaving until he does. That's good because he's going to need a good right hand and she's it. While we watch her load her children and Professor Holmes onto a sub, Mike has an idea. He needs the president's authorization, though, and the magnetic storms that thing is causing have turned off all communication.
We've got a defense ring of 20 Vulcan 5 missiles. Suppose I hit that planetoid with every one of them.
May I see your figures?
There it is. The power of that warhead can be adjusted to 100 megatons. We've got 20 of them. That adds up to 2 billion tons of explosives.
Against the mass and acceleration of that neutron planetoid, it's nothing. You can't possibly destroy it.
I'm not thinking about destroying it, only deflecting it.
Space shuttles hadn't been built yet, so they couldn't do it the Bruce Willis way.
Can I get a firing track on that planetoid without Dr. Tolte's figures?
It's barely possible. What range do you propose to hit?
10 minutes before we reach Earth.
You plan to be here in Triton 10 minutes before impact?
That's right.
Aquila's right. That would be suicide. I know how you feel about losing everything you build, but you can't sacrifice the men's lives for something that just can't possibly be accomplished.
I'm not looking for any volunteers. Once I activate failsafe, there's only gonna be room enough for one finger on that firing button.
I don't know what to say.
Why don't you try good luck?
I think I'd be more inclined to wish him good skill, good aim, and good timing. Depending on luck seems like a bad idea. And he's going to have to do this without the president's approval to fire nukes. That's usually a bad thing to do, but in this case, I think President Basehart will let it slide. Aquila's radar can give them a look at the planetoid. A look and a listen. That's some interesting radar. And how about turning it down a little?
All personnel back to your stations.
That thing is going to demolish the place and possibly kill them. I think they have a right to gawk at it for a moment. Brett intends to steal that. That means first he has to move a bunch of the gold into his sub and make a box, then move a piece of H-128 into the box. They told us somewhere along the line that they can move it around without the gold because it takes 6 hours for the stuff to go critical.
Isn't that convenient?
It sounds to me like many trips back and forth with the forklift or whatever he's using to move the heavy stuff. And one other question, I can't remember if I asked this last time. The H-128 is more valuable than the gold. To whom? Who's he planning to sell it to? Who knows enough about this material to want to buy it for an insane amount of money?
Tell Patterson, push the unloading and come up here as fast as he can.
Control to Patterson. Control to Patterson.
Patterson here.
Woody, Admiral wants you in Triton Control on the double. What's your status?
Well, we're all finished here. I'll have the personnel load up and be right there.
He orders everybody to the evac subs and shuts things down. Brett is slinking around. It's hard to tell why.
Let's go, Mr. Matthews. Time's running short. Come on, we have to get out of here.
He should know better than to interrupt a man while he's slinking.
Admiral, your brother's on line 3.
Yes, Brett.
Mike, the vault's clear. We're ready to evacuate.
Thank you, Brett. Good luck to you.
You too. Quinn.
What?
We've got to get to the south wall. Contact levers and stuff. We've got a lot of work to do fast.
An outside organization is operating the sub. All 3 conspirators made oblique references to a syndicate or something similar, but we never get to find out anything about it.
All buildings check out empty. All other personnel have been evacuated. We have 2 aquafoils standing by in your airlock.
Fine. I want you to stay with me until we activate failsafe. Your figures check out?
They do.
All right. I want you, Lena, and Leah to take off now.
Not I, Michael. I'm staying.
I can handle this on my own.
This is my city as much as it is yours.
Fair point. Earlier, they were talking about how much they both have invested in the city, so I agree. Aquila has as much right to stay as Mike does.
All right. Leah, Elena, on your way. Woody, you make sure that they get off safely, and then come right back here.
All right, ladies, let's move out. You've got less than an hour to get to safety.
I'm going to stay.
What for?
To annoy the admiral mostly. She spent way too much time hating him instead of lightheartedly irritating him.
What's going on up there?
Leah insists on staying.
This isn't any time for any heroics. Get out now.
I'll take care of it.
I gave an order. Expected to be obeyed.
I'm not going.
Neither am I.
Admiral, I'm afraid you have a mutiny on your hands.
And Woody is too much of a gentleman to do more than that little nudge he gave Leah. I guess he's joined the mutineers. In the vault, Brett has just called the sub.
Commander?
What is it?
I hear something.
I heard it too. It sounded like some kind of electronic pulse. I think it came from the gold vault.
Woody?
Keep listening. Yes,
70 seconds to firing. Activate failsafe now.
Step 1 completed.
To help save money, President Basehart allowed the admiral to use spare parts from his old submarine. Hey, if it still works, why throw it away?
Years with a full program of schooling and recreation. Over there, Complex 3 for advanced marine studies.
Start countdown.
Countdown has begun. 57, 56, 55.
I don't think Brett and company know this is happening. When those things explode, it's likely to give everything a pretty big jolt, and he's in the process of cutting a hole in the wall. His sub is docked and starting to cut from their side as well.
Perfect launch.
All the missiles are charged to the full 100 megatons. Do we get how much that is? They measure this stuff against tons, 2,000 pounds, of TNT, the ingredient in dynamite. The bomb that flattened Hiroshima was around 20-ish kilotons, as I recall. 20,000 tons of TNT. That's 40 million pounds. Here we're talking millions of tons of high explosive. The biggest bomb humans have built so far was the Soviet Union's Tsar Bomba. They dropped this monstrosity over one of the islands of Novaya Zemlya, a pair of islands up beyond the Arctic Circle that's fairly well uninhabited. There used to be some indigenous people there, but the Soviets kicked them out and made the place a bunch of military stuff instead. No, I don't know why they would want to blow up their own military stuff. Anyway, they built this thing, and in 1961 they dropped it to see what would happen. A 50-plus megaton blast is what happened. This is the biggest single bomb we've ever built, and as far as I know, they didn't build another one. Now take that explosion and double it, then multiply it by 20. That's what we just sent into space, and it's a good thing they went that way, because if they were to hit the Earth, I have a feeling there would be nothing left.
Aguila to Matthews.
Aguila? Where's Aguila?
I don't know. He was right here a second ago.
Aguila to Matthews.
Yes, Aguila, where are you?
I'm near the gold vault. There's a cargo sub using a laser to cut into it, and I hear another laser cutting from inside.
A sub? Well, whose sub?
I don't know.
If one spark gets through that H-128.
I've got to get into that vault.
You can't. It's been welded shut.
I might be able to use a control dock. Aguila.
Yes, sir.
You try planning an explosive charge on that sub. Pick it up at the construction dock.
Right.
Brett said he had this planned down to the last detail. I'm not sure a bomb on his sub was part of the plan, but let's find out.
All right, let's take a reading. Elena, you see if you can't get those communication lines open.
Yes, sir.
Leah, you stay with that computer.
Rosemary Forsyth, no relation to John, wanted to act from an early age, and while she was in her teens, her mother encouraged her to go into modeling as a stepping stone. It worked. She got noticed. One reason was her striking resemblance to Grace Kelly, but soon she showed that she was her own person. She did some bit parts on TV, and then got her break when she played opposite James Stewart in Shenandoah. She was off and running. At this time, she was only 8 years into her career, and she's giving us a good performance.
We might be coming to some power cables. What then? Cut right through them. How do we know what will happen? Come on, just keep lasering. Maybe we'll have to set off some kind of power reaction that's liable to blow us up.
Keep lasering, Quinn. Just keep lasering.
Quinn appears to be hurt, so he can't even enjoy the satisfaction of saying, "I told you so."
What do we do?
What we were always going to do. We're gonna cut through these plates.
What if there are more hot cables in this wall? The next time we might not be so lucky.
These are the only two. I ought to know. I built this wall. All I want you to do now is to think that in a few more minutes, we'll be loading all that gold in H-120 on the sub. Start lasering.
No! 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 No!
Start lasering. Start lasering.
In the control room, consoles are spitting and sparking and making Irwin Allen noises. So was everything in that tunnel Mike is in, and so is a bunch of stuff in the vault. Brett doesn't care.
Money, 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 money.
What's wrong?
I thought I heard something.
There's no one else here. We're running out of time. Come on, Gwen.
There is something back there.
Check it out.
Have you noticed how Brett doesn't do his own dirty work? He stands there while Quinn does everything, including facing potential danger from an unknown source. Sounds like Quinn is a lot tougher than he looks. Not tough enough, but at least he held his own for a bit.
Brett, does it really surprise you?
Well, it shouldn't. You're the only one that could have caused the accident. Huh? You killed Bill and you almost killed Woody. Why, Brett? Why? Because of that?
Is there a better reason? Or did you want me to follow your example? What's it gotten you? Almost killed yourself, trying to save a city that's about to be destroyed. Not me. I've got what I want.
He says, "You're my brother. The sub is out there. The city is doomed. Help me grab some of this and come with me." Brett, there's something you don't know about that sub.
No, Brett. No deal.
If that weapon he was holding on to fell into the H-128, it's gone. We saw a demonstration earlier where a guy tossed a pen onto a chunk of it, and the pen was vaporized. Why do they always go up? I suppose we may as well get it over with. That went into the Book of World Records as the weirdest cremation ever done.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Impact!
Mike, it didn't work.
Yeah, it did. Woody forgets that it takes a bit to turn an object that big and heavy. Think trying to make a 90-degree turn with a cruise ship. But within a few seconds, Aguila reports that it's starting to turn.
We now have visual confirmation.
Everything's beginning to work. Mike, what's the matter? We did it! Even the communication system is coming back alive.
Everything is alive. Everything but Brett. Brett's dead.
They deserve to know, so tell them the whole story.
Admiral, it's for you. The President.
Later, after your spanking.
Admiral, all stations have been tracking the missiles you fired. You took a very important decision on yourself.
I tried to call Mr. President for permission. I just couldn't get through.
There's no excuse. Only the President is authorized to order a nuclear weapon fired. But under these extraordinary circumstances, there's only one thing I can say to you. Thank you, Mike.
I have a feeling if he had said anything but that, everybody else in the room would have ripped him a new one.
I dare say you're going to be pretty busy down there, but at your earliest opportunity, I'll expect you in Washington to receive your commendation. And I trust that your golf is as rusty as mine.
Thank you, sir.
Pacifica is back in business. Everybody's off to do their part getting the people back and the power up and running, and I wonder who's going to have to clean up that destroyed sub that's still stuck to the wall. If I knew absolutely nothing about the movie, didn't see any opening credits or whatever, I'd know this was Irwin Allen within minutes. His fingerprints are displayed in giant banners everywhere. I love it. I have a few issues with some of the editing. Every so often it seemed like a clip was cut so tight at the start or at the end that part of a word was cut off. At times there were clips that felt out of place. It would have been smoother if this was over there. I'm kind of touchy about editing because I take major pride in my own editing. That said, this was fun. You may know by now that I like Irwin's not over the top but balancing on the edge style. I'm arguing with myself about covering his major movies after I finish with his TV stuff. I invite your thoughts on that. Right now, I am off to find his next TV movie from 1976 called Flood. That I'm ready for. I think the solution to this is for this guy I think it's for me to get the words right.